So now let's do Agent Venom, which is an action figure that I've been pushing off for a very long time, just because it's a Revoltech. It's got a lot of accessories, it's got a lot going on, so it's a very daunting figure to review. But I'm doing this right now so that I can push him out of the way, as in I have to sell him because he's already contracted to a friend. I need to make some space and some money back. So I'm doing this right now, and good luck to me. Before anything else, I just want to say thanks for being here. I do appreciate you sharing your precious minutes, your time being spent watching this video. You could be doing something else, and so I'll try to make it worth your while. And if you're not subscribed, please do. And if you're a returning viewer of this channel, you're subscribed, or maybe you're not, as long as you're watching this video. He has a very tactical look about him. It's black and white with some variations of black, because he does have matte black going on, most notably on his head and some parts of his arms and legs. And predominantly it's some shiny type of black to reflect the symbiote material of his suit. So yeah, very nice detail work because of the texture right there and the way they painted over all those texture. He does have the spikes, and you have to be extra careful when handling this figure, not because you might break it, because you might wound yourself in the process of handling it. So yeah, be mindful of these spikes because they are pointy enough to hurt if you apply too much pressure when handling the figure. You may not see it, but in person, the matte black parts of the figure almost have a navy blue shade on them, ever so slightly, and it looks good. So far so good in terms of the sculpted and painted details of this figure. What do you call this thing on his upper body? The spider symbiote venom emblem symbol thingy. You know what I'm talking about. He's got a very nice pearl white on it. So yeah, very clean paintwork so far. As far as my copy is concerned, yeah, I really do like the texture on the symbiote material on his costume or his uniform. So that's pretty cool. We've got some gunmetal grays on the buckles. I think these panels right here are meant for the gun holsters. Same amount of detail work on the back, so that's pretty cool. Got big pouches, very nice gauntlets. So what can I say? It's a very cool looking action figure, and if only I had a real attachment to this character, I would be keeping this figure. Normally I would keep cool looking action figures, but I'm able to sell them for a very good price. Yeah, I'm selling him because I need to make some of my money back. And to my point about selling him at a good price, this is one of those few figures that will really hold its value because of how solid of a build it has, and from the company which it hails from. And generally speaking, toys are not a good financial investment. The moment you acquire a figure, especially when you unbox it, it immediately loses its value. You really have to collect from the perspective that you're investing in your own happiness and nothing more. It's worth noting that this figure can stand really well on its own, even without the stand, but they do include a stand in the package, so that's great. And he stands about 15.5 centimeters tall. That would make him about a bit over 6 inches tall. So by my estimation, this Revoltech figure is a true 1/12 scale. I'm gonna try to go over the accessories as quickly as I can, just because there's so much to cover. And you can argue that these tentacles are not really accessories in such that they are part of the character design, but as far as the action figure is concerned, these aren't, by default installed on his back. You have to install them yourself. So in that sense, these are accessories. You got 8 of them, I think. And then we have these gun blast effects, which kind of reminds me of the ones that came with the Bash Stampede figure, which is also made by Revoltech. So it's very cool. It's effective. It gets the job done. It's got this very nice, orange gradient. It goes from kind of a yellow-orange color and transitions into a much darker orange, towards the edges. And then we've got this blade attachment. I think this is, going to replace one of the hands when you're using it. And then we've got these gun holsters. We got 4 of them. I don't know why. Because we got 4 guns, of course. We got 4 guns, and then we've got partial gun parts right here. I don't know. I think these are the things that will slide into the holsters when you're pretending that he's not using his guns, or he's just using a couple of them instead of 4 of them. I don't know. Because probably can't hold all 4 of them, but maybe he can because he's got the tentacles. I don't know. This video is a discovery process for me as well. Then we've got this grenade launcher. It's a very cool looking grenade launcher. Then we've got the spiral silks. Got 2 of them. They look very solid. They look very good. I don't know what else to say. We've got more pouches right here. Yeah, we've got more pouches. So yeah, like I said earlier, this figure is quite daunting in such that he comes with a lot of stuff, a lot of accessories, and that's good because you're getting your money's worth. But also, that's a recipe for decision fatigue. But that's just Revoltech earning their keep, and that's good for us consumers because we're getting our money's worth. Now let's do the articulation of this figure, and I surmise it's going to be exciting because it's a Revoltech, and he's got a very cool character design. We've got this huge collar, especially on the back of his neck. So be mindful of that. It does move together with the rest of the neck or the head movement in general. So yeah, it can look down that far. So that's good range looking down. Looking up, not as much because the collar does get in the way. So you're just gonna have to bend his upper body slightly back so that he can, look up a bit farther. His shoulders can go, his arms can go all the way out that far. So it's a perfect T-pose at least. His arms go all the way around, so it's a 360 spin. We've got a bicep swivel as well. It's well hidden by those shoulder quadrants, so that's pretty cool. And Revoltech does have its own, its signature way. Their signature way of dealing with elbow joints. It's this ball hinged thingy. Yeah, it works well on this figure. And I guess the bulkiness of the forearms does help hide those gaps and the joint connection. So yeah, a ball hinged wrist as well. So same concept as the elbows because the elbows can rotate. Same goes for the wrists or the hands. You can go back that far, but if you maximize the range of his upper body going back, it's gonna expose a big gap on there. So you're gonna see the chasm inside his body. But you don't really need to exhaust the range. Push it enough to reach the limit and not have to open that gap. Same as the front, it does expose a big gap on the back, but it's not really gonna matter if you're going to install the tentacles on his back. Those will help hide the gap. Very good side-to-side movement. And then his body goes all the way around in conjunction with the lower joint. Well, the lower joint doesn't really do much in the way of that kind of spinning motion, but the upper body does everything by itself. You're gonna have to turn it up a little, the thigh, so that he can reach full-on splits. His legs will be at an angle if you want him to do high kick poses, but it doesn't look awkward at all because that's just Revoltech magic at play. Same concept, kicking back. So yeah, amazing Yamaguchi. He's got this thigh cut. It works well enough, and I guess you can also move the thighs slightly on the connection itself. Single jointed knee. So I don't really know how I feel about that. From my experience in handling Revoltech figures, this kind of design will eventually loosen over time, sooner rather than later. So that's kind of annoying. So far, there is enough retention on this joint, so whatever. As of right now, it functions well, and I don't experience any of that looseness. It's a good thing that I'll be getting rid of this figure. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, it's a good enough range in terms of bending that knee. I'm losing my touch even more because I haven't slept yet. Okay, what's next? The toe joints. His foot can kick backward that far. Forward, not too much, but good enough. I guess you can pull it forward. Yeah, you can get more out of that ankle range in terms of kicking the foot forward. We've got an ankle rocker. Same setup on the elbows with the foot joints or the ankle joints. So yeah, same concept, and the function pretty much the same. We've got this toe joint. It is well placed, but this one's kind of loose. You can also bend the toe joint forward. So I guess, yeah, they really went crazy with the posability of this figure, and I bet that's intentional as well, because it doesn't look too awkward relative to this being a Revoltech, because Revoltechs are meant for crazy posability. So yeah, that's cool. I think we also have a, oh yeah, we don't. We normally get an extra joint right here that does allow for a bit of a rotation, but this time around for this figure it doesn't have that, because I guess he already has so much going on. So yeah, very cool articulation setup. I forgot to mention that he does have this segmentation on his shoulder, which is standard for Revoltechs, but it is well enough hidden because of his bulk and the line work and everything else at play. So yeah, that does help extend the range of his arms, especially if you want to get his arms across just like that. So it's pretty cool. You can also push those segments backward to make him look wider and bulkier and more formidable, if that is your jam. And there is definitely a time and place to utilize these segments or these, you know, cuts in that manner, especially if you want to put him in like crazy comic book style fighting poses, or you know, whatever you want him to have, like a power walk thing going on. Those will definitely come handy. Cool. So this is how he stacks up against some Mopek Spider-Mans and X-Force Deadpool. I think they scale well together. If you can afford it, it is a worthy pickup. If you're into high-end action figures, this one earns its keep. He's got a very cool sculpt. He's got the comic book proportions, very nice sculpted and painted details. He's got a ton of accessories. Like, you will have a hard time deciding how to pose him next, because there's just so much that it offers in the way of accessories. A lot of hands, a lot of guns, a lot of tentacles. You know, the sky is the limit in terms of posing this guy around. He's really gonna push your creativity to the limits, and he's just so much more fun to handle than his contemporaries. And what I mean by that is, you know, other Revoltech figures. The quality control on this guy is top notch. I haven't experienced any real issues at all. No joints popping off, and no looseness at all. At least none so far. Plus, he really is built like a tank in form and, you know, with the way he feels. He is not necessarily heavy, but he feels substantial relative to his scale. And it doesn't feel cheap at all. It is a premium action figure in every possible way. You don't need to have an attachment to Agent Venom to want this figure. If you're into cool action figures, and that's kind of what we're all in this for, in this hobby for, especially if you're watching this video, that means that this type of thing is right up your alley. That is a strong indication that you're into this type of thing. And this figure is a high quality premium action figure made by a reputable company, which is it Revoltech or Amazing Yamaguchi? I think Amazing Yamaguchi is the line of figures being offered by Revoltech. I don't know. And this is a good example of a high quality premium product. And this Agent Venom is a culmination of the efforts they've made to improve their line of figures, especially under the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi branding. So yeah, let me reiterate, for as long as you can afford it and you're not sacrificing important things in your life just to have it, then it's worth picking up. And if the time comes that you need to sell it, because we never know what the future holds, this is one of those few figures that will hold its value for as long as you're able to take care of it. You're handling it well. You're treating it like it's a precious gem because it's an expensive figure. Then you can definitely sell it at a good price. You might take a loss, but not as much loss as you will have to take if you're selling a crappy action figure that you purchased at an overly expensive price for what it is. The conclusion is that it's a solid action figure. It's premium in every way, as long as you can afford it, and I will never stop underscoring that because these toys are optional. They're luxury items. We don't need them, realistically speaking. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.